This is the Whole Care Network. Helping you tell your story one podcast at a time. Content presented in the following podcast is for information purposes only. Views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the host and guest and may not represent the views and opinions of the Whole Care Network. Always consult with your physician for any medical advice, and always consult with your attorney for any legal advice. And thank you for listening to the Whole Care Network.
Hello, my friend. Welcome to A Time to Care, the Caregivers podcast. I'm Isabel Melgarejo, your host. This is the first episode of 2025. Aren't you excited to see what this year brings us? I'm super excited to see what happens, honestly. It is a time of everything is new. And probably not all people are happy because we just went through all the holiday season. Some of us are tired. Some of us are trying to get our feet on this new year. But I am super excited. And I hope you are as well. I know everybody's talking about goals. Maybe you did your goals. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you're working on them. I want to talk about goals today. How do you define the goals that you want to work on or that you want to achieve in the upcoming year? Do you have any idea? So let's get started. I find it so interesting because usually goals, you hear all the people having the exact same goals. They want to lose weight. They want to stop drinking. They want to go to the gym. They want to start a business. Probably not everybody wants to start a business, but you get my point. Everybody wants to save money. Everybody wants the same things. But what's behind that is what's important. And that's what I want to talk about today, because we usually don't stop to consider what's important on our goals. A few months ago, I talked about the 5 whys. And today I'm going to be talking about whys again. When we are defining our goals, we need first to set our long-term vision. So when I started doing goals, when I was probably 17, my dad would always tell me to start on the long term. And I usually had a goal or a vision for where I wanted to be in 10 years. That was very simple. That was just a thought. That was just an idea. It was whatever it was, but what do you want your life to be in 10 years? And we usually don't know because 10 years is a very long time and a lot of things can happen. But when we have that vision on the long term, it is easier for us to have a set of goals in the present that are aligned in the future. I want to talk about that. Is your long-term vision in alignment with your goals? And why? Why is the most important thing here? Why do you want to be there in 10 years? So if in 10 years, as I'm recording this, in 10 years, for me personally, I want to be working way less of what I'm doing, and I want to be enjoying more of the hobbies, doing more social work. So probably I will be as busy as I'm today, but I want that work to be towards the help and improvement of other people or the environment, or I don't know. Why do I want to achieve that? And the reason why I want to achieve these is because if I reach my financial goals, I can probably work less and start supporting those who need the most. And that's something that I've always been very passionate about. And I would love to be able to spend hours and hours every day supporting the community. So that is my why. I've always been passionate. I just like it. So what is your why? That brings me purpose. And whatever your vision is, you need to understand your why. Because if it's just like, oh, everybody wants to lose weight, I have lost weight, and you're talking crap about yourself because of how you look, well, that is not going to take you where you want to be. But if, for example, you want in 10 years to have a lot of mobility, be very strong, be have mobility, then if that's your goal, then going to the gym and start working out this year makes completely sense with that goal. You get me? Why? When you think about that long-term vision, far in the future, and it doesn't have to be in 10 years, it can be in 2-3 years, or maybe in 40 years from now, who knows? But when you think about that long-term vision and why you want to be there, and then you think about those goals that you have and how they align with that long-term vision, then you have a winning goal. And another thing that's really important when you have these long-term vision, so talking about mobility as we grow older, you can probably start thinking about other goals that you want to achieve during a certain period of time. And maybe if you going back to the example of having mobility, if your goal was going to the gym, maybe you can swim instead or practice a sport. I don't know, pickleball. Apparently, everybody plays pickleball these days. So maybe you wanted to take into and start practicing a sport. Maybe you want to take vitamins that support your body and provide flexibility. Maybe you want to start eating healthier and foods that provide your body the nutrients that will allow to keep you moving. Maybe that mobility is reflected on your weight. I don't know. But when you start thinking about all the other things that are surrounding mobility, then you can actually think if those goals are aligned with what you want to do. And maybe when you start brainstorming other goals, maybe you decide that going to the gym is not your thing. Yesterday, I was talking with this person, and she was telling me, well, I want to have a healthier life, and a part of what I wanted to do, I don't want to go to the gym. It's something that is really gross for me, and I'm not going to do it. So I decided to walk my neighbor's dog. I don't like dogs. I'm a cat person. But that she's elderly, and this allows me to go out, help someone, and exercise. So that is a goal that aligns with a lot of her values. It aligns with helping other people. It aligns with her having mobility, and it aligns with her keeping herself moving. So you can brainstorm a lot of other things that you can do to achieve your goal. It doesn't have to be what everybody else is doing. You can be as open as you want and just think about the things that will take you where you want to be. And when you're putting everything into this big picture, you can actually decide which goals will align better based on what you like doing and based on that long-term vision. As a summary for everything I've said today, start understanding what is your long-term vision, where you want to be in 3, 5, 10, 20, 50 years from now. You can decide the time. Then you're going to ask yourself why you want to be there, why it is important to be there. And third, you're going to brainstorm a bunch of things, a bunch of goals that you could do to reach that long-term vision. And finally, you will decide what you're going to do this year. Isn't this a way better strategy for setting goals? I hope you found this useful, and I'm wishing you a very happy new year. I hope this year brings a lot of joy, a lot of fun, a lot of love, and I hope this brings you a lot of very fun experiences. Talk to you next week.
This is the Whole Care Network. Helping you tell your story one podcast at a time.